Hi, welcome to Rivetea. I am your host, Longhair Linda, and today we are going to be recapping season 2, episode 2 of Love and Marriage DC. This one is called Winter Storms. Let's get into it. So we start with the scene in the hallway with Lil Jamie, who's now crying and screaming, "It's not even you, son," to his dad. And if you remember last episode, we kind of had the big fallout with the two of them at Jason's going away party. Jason thinks that Lil Jamie is entitled. Lil Jamie is acting entitled. So yeah, it was all kicking off. So we're in the aftermath of that. Jamie says that Lil Jamie is faking for the cameras, and Lil Jamie acts like he's about to scrap his dad. It all just goes so wrong in the hallway. Producers are, trying to break everything up as Erana tries to calm Lil Jamie, who is yelling about him, passing a drug test for his potential job but failed the background check. Jamie's on the other side being calmed down by producers. It was a mess. It was a big mess. I felt like I shouldn't have been watching this. Like, this was none of my business. Erana talks to Lil Jamie about shutting the family out because of something not working out for him, and Quick comes over to also try and speak some sense into Lil Jamie. Quick tells him that he needs to step up as a man, basically. And of course, Lil Jamie says that Quick needs to leave him alone in his confessional. Not so much to his face though. Jamie is frustrated because he has done a lot for Lil Jamie, but he doesn't like how he talks to him. I would say that's probably where the issue lies, Jamie. I feel like you gave him too much for too long. I hesitate to say this because, every parent is different and it's always easier said than done, but it just feels like people don't overnight become entitled 26-year-olds. I think there's some reflection maybe that needs to be had with your parenting styles. No offense. Winter is back. Kevin is gone, and now she's apparently into making music. So apparently she released a single from last season's Sign My Papers. Did anyone know about this? Because I had no clue. Her producer is Block, whose wife is Sherelle. So Sherelle comes over to the studio, and Winter reveals that her new single is about Gutter Barbies, but it will be positive. In your own words, Winter, are you sure? Turns out that Sherelle is a friend of Ashley and Quick's and tells Winter that she absolutely will be telling Ashley about this Gutter Barbie song, and she's going to be at her event soon, so she's going to be filling her friend in. Winter feels like she owned her part and apologized. So she's talking about last season, and to me it's like, cool, you did apologize several times, but you kept going back on what you apologized for. If you keep going and you keep going for people's husbands and people's marriages, it doesn't matter how many times you apologize, no one's going to be interested in forgiving you. It turns out that Winter had also reached out to Erana to have a one-on-one with her to tell her something about her child, but never got a response. So Sherelle here is, in my opinion, right to be concerned. Because apparently it wasn't enough for Winter to talk about husbands and marriages last season. She's now on to the kids. This is going to go well. We then cut to a scene of Ashley doing a TV interview about her new book, but the host has questions about Chris and Monique Samuels, and Ashley does a really good job actually of pivoting. She pivots really, really well and is just trying to bring the focus back on her book. She kind of gives a non-committal answer and steers the conversation right back to the book. At Erana and Jamie's, Jamie falls down the stairs. Those sliders that he was wearing are a hazard. Are they sliders or slides? Sliders are a small burger, right? Slides? They're slides. Anyway, he slid down the stairs. So before a conversation with Erana about Lil Jamie, he fell downstairs, and Jamie says that he has had enough, but Erana is worried for Lil Jamie and wants the father and son to seek professional help for their relationship. Jamie pushes back and says actually he thinks that maybe it should be more of a family situation. I don't know if he meant with the other children as well as the both of them, or if he just meant that he and Erana should have some kind of professional help with Lil Jamie. Whatever happens, I think that's a great idea. I think that therapy is extremely important, especially in family situations. I think it can help a number of different types of relationship dynamics, and hopefully it can help bring some kind of resolution, because this is not healthy. This is not healthy. What's going on with Lil Jamie and his parents, and you know how he shuts everybody out. I definitely think that it would be a great idea. I'm not a licensed therapist, but I think it would be a great idea if they spoke to a licensed therapist. Ashley is getting ready for her event and talks about her relationship with her mother, who moved out of their family home to go live with her boyfriend when Ashley was just 16. Ashley's mum is apparently not so keen on the fact that Ashley has written about these experiences at a young age in this new book, because it might stain the view of her as a mother that people that she now knows has. I have feelings about this. I think that I want to tread carefully because I don't know these people, right? And I always want to try and give my opinion, making it very clear that it's my opinion, without necessarily being just rude for no reason. I think when you view what other people, i.e. non-family, people who you didn't raise, when you view that their opinion as more important than the child that you have raised, speaking candidly and honestly, if you view an opinion of an outsider higher than you view how your child feels, that probably says enough about your mothering. Is that fair to say? What do you guys think? Anyway, so Ashley is talking about this with her best friend and podcast co-host Alicia, and they are currently getting matching tattoos. So a tattoo artist has come over to Ashley's place, and they are getting a smiley face made up of the eyes on Alicia's finger and a smile on Ashley's finger. So when you put them together, it's a cute little smiley face. It's a cute little idea. Cute. Yeah. Joy and Erana meet at Erana's home, and Joy shades Alicia and Ashley a little bit, in my opinion, for having questions about Joy speaking to single mums about being ready to love, even though she's not a mum herself. Joy felt double teamed and says Clifton was really bothered by Ashley rolling her eyes and called her dismissive and immature. So do we now have a hashtag dismissive Ashley, hashtag immature Ashley? I don't know. I want to see how she takes this information. I'm sure it's going to come out. Erana says that Joy should address it at Ashley's upcoming pink party. That's a little messy. I feel like, and I know they have to, so I don't want to be too mean about it or too judgmental about it, should I say. But I feel like Erana and Ashley are very, very aware that they have to have their producer hats on tight this season, because the Samuels are not there and they need to help producers effectively create the show. So it feels like they are steering the conversations to make sure that each person's event is popping and talked about all over social media in recaps like we're doing here on YouTube, and a big deal. That's what I think. I might be wrong, but it's still a little messy. For me, I feel like, as if I'm now friends with two different parties and one feels like the other one shaded them, yes, I would be all for, well, speak to them about it. Don't do the whole, behind the back thing. Just approach them about it. I don't know that I would tell them to bring it up and address it at my other friend's event, because it's their day, right? You don't want anything to go wrong for your friend's event, but maybe that's just me. So on the day of Ashley's pink event, Erana wore a Gutter Barbie jacket, and it turns out that her and Ashley made money off of selling Gutter Barbie t-shirts after last season. I know that's right. That comment was so rude, so unfunny by Winter, but the fact that they have turned it into merch and they can make money off that, I love that for them. Make a joke out of someone trying to make a joke out of you and make some money while you do it. Love that. Mood, energy, a vibe. Joy shows up in a pink dominatrix outfit, and listen, her body was bodying, okay? I did not know that Joy was built like that from last episode. I had no clue. I hadn't watched Ready to Love. I haven't seen her anything else. So I met her for the first time last week, and wow, Joy was wearing that outfit. Sherelle shows up, and apparently Joy has issues with Sherelle because Joy was in a band with Sherelle's husband, Block, and that apparently fell apart due to his alleged selfish ways. I want to know more about this. I have a feeling we're going to find out more about this. I'm just hoping there isn't a lot of screaming and yelling because I actually want the details. Like, I actually want to hear what happened. And Sherelle's already giving me yell over somebody that she has an issue with because she was yelling at this pink event and there was nobody there to have an issue with, at least from her part. So I hope I get to actually hear what happened in this band. So as soon as she arrived, Sherelle talks to Ashley about Winter's new song and says Block, her husband, wouldn't write a diss track, even though he just did, because he wrote Gutter Barbie for Winter, who came up with Gutter Barbie as a diss. It's okay. Ashley in her confessional says Sherelle is trying to cover her ass because her husband wrote the song and that's a lot of ass to cover. Is that shade, Ashley? I mean, she does have a big behind. She really does. And so, fine. Okay, we're going to move on. Maybe it wasn't shade. Interestingly enough, Erana thinks Sherelle's playing both sides in her confessional. I just want to pause there real quick because that's kind of what was being said about Erana last season, and I don't know if that was true last season, but it's looking like there are some hints of that being potentially about to be true this season. I don't know. But it's just interesting that she's the one that pointed that out. So at the party, Sherelle is defending her friendship with Ashley quite hard, a little too hard in my opinion, and says that Winter mentioned these receipts that she has on Erana's kids. Erana decides, okay, fine, she will sit down with Winter to find out exactly what's going on. So at this sit down, apparently Winter is, and I say apparently because her actions don't show this, but this is what she's claiming. Winter is allegedly hoping to clear the air with Erana and move forward. Apparently everyone has been reaching out to Erana and trying to get her to respond to Winter's DMs. Erana says the first issue that she had with Winter was the nickname for Jamie. Then they squashed it, and then Winter got on Carlos King's show and intimated that Erana and Jamie like to cheat on each other. So of course, the rightful next step, the logical next step, is to now bring receipts about somebody's kids. I want to know how much of this is for TV. I want to know if Winter's like this in real life, because it feels very TV. And I know that this is reality TV. I know that there are parts that are manipulated. I know that there are certain scenes that are put together in a way that wouldn't normally happen in real life in order to create a TV show. I am fully aware that this isn't exactly how everyone is in their real life, in the exact situations they would be in their real lives. I understand that. However, to me, it's feeling like Winter is overproduced because she is doing too much. Like it's just over the top. It's too much for me. And I don't know if I can handle another season of being irritated by Winter. I don't know if I have that in me. I want her to just be real. I want her to stop telling me about the type of woman she is. I want her to stop saying, and honestly, and to be completely candid, because you don't do that. And in my opinion, and therefore it makes it even more annoying when you say that. I know it's a common sort of filler, sentence filler that people use. I use it. Plenty of people I listen to, speak to, watch, use them too. These, to be honest with you, to tell you the truth, it just kind of slips out. But she says it a lot, and in my opinion, doesn't actually do that. So I don't know if I don't know if I have it in me. I really don't know if I have it in me for another season of Winter's Mess, because now she's talking about kids. What is wrong with this lady? Winter apologizes again. I've lost count on how many times this lady has now had to apologize for her words and her behavior. I feel like if you have to apologize this much, you should really look at why you feel the need to keep acting like this. Winter apologizes and says her goal wasn't to offend. I'm interested to know what her goal was, because you talked about people's husbands, you talked about their marriages, you gave their husband's nickname, you then came on the reunion after a season of just a turbulent relationship with these ladies and then having a lovely kumbaya at the end. You came to the reunion, you started talking about you have receipts, you know they're doing this, everybody knows about Quick, everybody knows about Jamie, and it's just like, at what point do you look within and say, maybe I don't like these people and maybe I should stop being around them, maybe I should stop doing a show with them, because clearly I have a problem with these people because I keep trying to get into arguments with them. So Erana is wondering how Winter doesn't realise that she says one thing and then says the complete opposite on lives and podcasts. And bearing in mind, I have this opinion of Winter based on just watching the show. I actively avoid anything to do with her lives and her podcast or anything like that. I don't watch anything of Winter's outside of the show, so I can only imagine how bad it is when it's just not on the show. I can only imagine how bad that is. I did see her Twitter though, and she goes off at the Twitter, and I even had to quote tweet one and say Lord with a crying face emoji and some popcorn because I'm a bit toxic. Winter says that the ladies keep tabs on everything that she says, but that she doesn't do it to them. Well, maybe people wouldn't have to keep tabs on everything that you say if you just stuck with what you were saying and were consistent and maybe didn't, in my opinion, lie so much. Just a thought. So the receipts, it turns out these receipts that Winter had on Erana's kids were actually about Jason. I'm getting hot thinking about it. I'm so mad. Don't come for Jason. Don't come for Jason. Don't you do this, Winter. Do not do this. Do not do this. Don't do this. So apparently this receipt is a DM that Winter got that says the Tylers are acting. I'm guessing this is based off of the first season. The DM says that the Tylers are acting like they raised Jason, but he allegedly was shipped out to a boarding school in Baltimore and only came back to them when he aged out of the school. And then after that, the Tylers moved Erana's mother in so that the Tylers could, quote, run the streets. And that was the end of episode 2. Oh, I'm disappointed. I'm extremely disappointed. Let me start with the rating first of all before I get to why I'm disappointed. I'm going to give this a 6 out of 10. I'm going to give this a 6 out of 10. And the reason is because it feels like we're going backwards. It feels like we are going back to Winter from season 1, just coming in with a winter storm, just coming in for no reason, unprovoked, going after people, just deciding that she's gonna just be a terror effectively on the rest of her cast. And I don't know why she's back. I know why she's back. It's, you know, they're like TV, right? She's always going to give them content. But man, it's actually more detrimental in my opinion to have her than to not. These ladies are going to have stories anyway. With the addition of Joy and Clifton, I'm sure all of these people are going to have stories. These couples are going to have stories. Not only is she not in a couple, but she is a troublemaker, and not that much of a good one. If she's supposed to be the show's villain, at least make if you're going to have a villain on your show, if you're going to have a villain on a show, make it a good villain. Okay? Make it a villain that will stand in what they said and will say it to you and won't be apologizing every time they see you, but then they're coming out with a song that nobody's going to listen to, in my opinion. I'm tired of Winter already. She's only just come back. I knew that she was coming back for this season, but I really was hopeful that like she would blossom and feel comfortable that she has returned without the need for the Kevin drama on this show, meaning that she was worthy of being on this show by herself despite not being in a married couple. And I'm not trying to shade, I'm saying this is a show about married couples. So if you can be on the cast and you're not in a married couple, I think that says, hey, that should say I'm worthy of being here. I don't need to do all of this. I don't need to go after people's marriages, and I don't need to go after their kids. I definitely do not need to be going after their kids. But apparently not. Maybe that's hopeful thinking. Hopeful, wishful, prayerful thinking. That's the reason for my disappointment. So, yeah. This episode would have actually been a 5 if the outfits at Ashley's pink event weren't so great. Except for Ashley's wig. Love you, girl. Throw that wig away. The Tylers decided on getting professional help as a family for the issues with Lil Jamie. Ashley is promoting her book and doing a great job of pivoting away from questions about the Samuels' alleged marriage problems. Ashley and Alicia actually have a really lovely friendship. I'm looking forward to seeing that blossom. I hope they're not going to get into any dramas. Please. We need something positive, please. Sherelle might also be a little troublemaker in the mix. It could be very, very interesting to see her dynamics with all the ladies while she builds this friendship with Winter, and how she kind of navigates being around Joy as well with the past drama with the husband. I want to know. Tell me everything. And Winter is back. Ready for another season of causing chaos, apparently. So, I rated this a 6 out of 10. I want to know your ratings. I want to know your comments, your feedback. What did you think of this episode? Please let me know down in the comments. Let me know on social media. Wherever you want to let me know. Let me know. I'm curious. I'm nosy. Okay? I want to know everything. But other than that, I will see you next week for the next recap of Love and Marriage DC. Bye!